Lassiter Factor.
Happy New Year's Eve, all my movie-loving maniacs. This is your boy, Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor, and I've already given you my top 10 worst movies of 2025, so now let's end the year with my top 10 best, or in this case, favorite movies of 2025. Now, we ain't gonna agree. Your list may be different. Whatever the case may be, all I ask is that you be respectful. These are just my personal top 10 favorite movies of the year that I've had an amazing experience watching for the first time or multiple times, and they all just reminded me why I love movies and love going to the movies. So let's get into it. Coming in at number 10 is a January release that really surprised me, and that is Companion. I recently watched this movie for the first time since the theater, and to me, this movie still holds up. I just love the twists and turns in the journey that this movie took me on. And this movie is kind of incel-ish, but the way they make use of that within this movie, I thought it worked perfectly. At number 9 is Eternity, which may just be one of my favorite rom-coms of the year, but I also just love the concept of this movie of, you just being in the afterlife and you have to make a decision over spending eternity with the person, well, your first husband or your husband that you spent most of your life with. I love the journey this movie took me on, and I loved the outcome of it too. At number 8 is James Gunn's Superman, and I gotta tell you, I've gone back and forth as to which one I like more. Was it this one? Was it Fantastic Four or Thunderbolts? And while Thunderbolts is my favorite Marvel movie, DC might just be my favorite comic book movie that came out this year. I enjoyed it. It really surprised me. Granted, I still go back and forth of which I like more, this or Man of Steel, but for James Gunn's Superman, I thought it was a good start to a new DC universe, and the movie itself was just a rip-roaring good time. At number 7 is a movie that I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed, and that is Roofman. I just love true crime stories that are just really bizarre that I just cannot believe it happened, and this movie gave me that, and I love the performances in here, and it was admittedly a lot funnier than I thought it'd be. At number 6 is One Battle After Another, which is a divisive film amongst people, depending on who you ask. But me, I really love this movie, not just for the performances, but for what this movie had to say about activism, generational trauma, and it's just an expertly made movie, and very well just be one of my favorite PTA movies, Paul Thomas Anderson. At number 5 is Warfare, which is one of the most brutal films I watched this year. This is probably one of the most, I guess, from my perspective, accurate movies that portrayed war, and in this case, the war in Afghanistan. This movie was brutal, it was violent, it was hard to watch at times. Whenever a movie can do that, it has to be acknowledged. At number 4 is Wake Up Dead Man. I love the Knives Out movies. I think this is Rian Johnson's gem, and while Knives Out, the first one, is still my favorite of the three movies we got, to me, this is a close second because I just not only love the mystery of this movie, but I just love how this particular murder mystery had something to say about faith and religion. And this all-star cast was definitely the beating heart of this movie. Bring Her Back is one of those movies that got a lot of buzz, and I was late to the party, but after watching it, my jaw was just to the floor of what I watched, and I absolutely loved it. Spoiler alert, these are my top 2 favorite movies of the year so far, but which one do I like more, Sinners or Weapons? And believe me, I have gone back and forth multiple times of which one I like more. I actually saw Sinners twice in the theaters. The second time was in IMAX on Halloween weekend. I'm glad I got a chance to go see that because I didn't get a chance to go watch it in IMAX when they re-released it for that specific reason. And then Weapons, I just really had a fun time watching this. I love nonlinear storytelling, and this movie gave it to me, and I watched it multiple times with different groups of people. But ultimately, which one do I like? I decided to put Weapons at number 2, and believe me, this was at number 1, and I've had my black card revoked multiple times for even putting Sinners at number 2. But hey, like I said, I've watched these movies multiple times, and ultimately, this is what I'm going with. And while Weapons, I do love watching more than I do Sinners, to me, Weapons is just one of those movies where I can put on at any time, and especially given the nature of this movie, I catch something new every time I watch it. This is one of those. This is the movie that came out this year that to me has the most rewatchability. Of course, at number one is Sinners. Ryan Coogler, he never misses. At least for me, he doesn't. And this movie is definitely a masterpiece from the filmmaking, the writing, the acting, the characters, the music. To me, this is number one because while I enjoy watching Weapons more, Sinners to me, like this to me, this is a special occasion right here. You don't want to run this one into to the ground. This ain't one of those thrown in the background and halfway pay attention to, which is how I feel about Weapons at times. Whereas with this is an experience right here. So those are my top 10 favorite movies of 2025. Here's a quick recap via Letterboxd. Follow me on there at Lassiter Factor. And before I go, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody that follows me, and I want to thank the community that I am part of, which is Film Talk. Everybody, just thank you for being so nice and welcoming and conversing and talking about movies with you. Like some people like to call me an influencer. I'm like, I'm not really an influencer. And even if I was, I don't like to think of myself as one. I'm just a guy that just loves talking about movies. As for the year as a whole, I mean, this year was a bit rough, and I'm not just talking about movies, just in general. I know I've had some struggles within my personal life, but there's been also some good things that happened within my life. So I just want to send off everybody a happy new year, and I'm wishing nothing but blessings and good things to come to you. I don't know what's in store for me for the year of 2026, but I am excited and at the same time curious as to what 2026 has in store for the world of movies. But that's it for today. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? What are your top 10 favorite movies of 2025? Let me know in the comment section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, and Happy New Year.